Hello everyone, it's mysticjuicer and I'm finally back with some more Yomi action. Very sorry to not be able to produce content in the last little while. I was off at FSX a couple of weekends ago and work has been absolutely crazy, so usually during the week I try to get one or two of these out, and that just has not happened. I'm working a lot of long days, but I'm going to wrap up what I have in the backlog, and I've got a couple in the backlog, and then I will be back current. I should be hopefully having some time to record some current matches. So this is me versus Kirandio. This is IYL Season 4, regular season pools, and very important game because it's an incredibly tight race between myself, Freezebug, Kirandio, and Volcania in this division. So all of these count. If I take this win, I get first in my division. If I don't take this win, I believe I go down to fourth and have to play in play-ins depending on how some other stuff works out. So Kirandio, known as a Jaina player generally, he has whomped me with his Jaina in the past. But I believe he's kind of given up a little bit on the character in more serious situations, and the reason we're seeing De Grey in the situation is because I am basically going to be playing only two characters. I'm playing Rook and Onimaru. Basically, Rook against everybody except for Onimaru against BBB and Geiger, because I do not like those matchups. I do not like them, Sam I am. And so De Grey, not a fantastic counterpick against Rook, although he does fairly okay. It's a pretty even matchup. Maybe slightly Rook advantaged, but the thing that it really does is it absolutely blows up Onimaru. My Onimaru has a terrible record against De Grey, and Onimaru just in general has a rough time against De Grey. So he thought I was going to open with Onimaru and pick De Grey as a result, and so I'm going to try to do my best to get this matchup going. So in this matchup, rock armor is less of a thing that you shoot for in the early game. What we are really trying to do is to frustrate the De Grey player into going to low hand. We're going to stick around 6 or 7 cards in hand ourselves, and we're going to hope that we can bring De Grey to like 3 or 4 cards. And once that happens, rock armor is going to be a very good thing. We're going to try to bully him with knockdown 3s and cross-up attempts, and just generally do effective damage and tank as much of his brutal damage output as we possibly can. So we start with 2 jokers, which is phenomenal. I'm not going to face down there. He's only got, 7... He had 7 cards in hand. I'm not too worried about that. What I'm really worried about happening, and what I'm going to save the jokers for, is for him to pick up 2 aces in hand on a low card hand, and then try to hit confirm those aces, rather than playing them raw. Which we can all but guarantee by doing a lot of blocking, which means he has to throw into them. And then hopefully he'll actually play them rather than ignoring our blue burst. So sitting around 9 cards in hand, I've got some pairs, I've got a single ace, so powering up those 8s is probably a pretty good idea. It's going to be tempting in the near future. It's been a really long time since this match happened, so I have no idea what my thought process was at the time. I'm just going to be commentating what it looks like to me now in the present moment. So we're doing pretty good in terms of health. I'm just going to block some more because he's content to play the ace dodge. I am getting to that hand size where rock armor is more of a thing. Notably in this match, you do not want to play any attacks that are slower than Pile Bunker, which I believe is an even 7. So 7 attack, 8 attack, and 10 attack are something you just never, ever, ever do in this matchup, unless you really want to die and get exploded. You're already, having to throw him every once in a while, so no reason to risk it with 10s to open yourself up some more. So I've got the 4 attack there. I don't have any rock armor to back this up unless he hits me with something faster, in which case I will try to get the rock armor with the Joker, but I figured I'd go for the 15 damage attempt, but he does block even, which is the very effective thing to do. So I have the possibility of getting Checkmate Buster, but I feel like that's really, really risky. I would rather hang on to Ace-Ace and just try to find damage. Deluxe with the basketball talk. Okay, nice. Catch a slow throw with a king attempt. We draw our 4/3, so this is going to be... I mean, the unfortunate thing is I've got all the 3s I want, but I don't have any of the damage to hit confirm into. He... Troublesome Rhetorics versus blocks. So this could be just a dodge or a block setup from him, or even a king. So I'm considering whether I want to lose Ace-Ace to king, or whether I just want to go for a duff. I think probably just attacking with a 6 would have been better there. I would still have lost to the Joker. There's no way he wasn't getting a Joker there unless I also gold bursted. But there's no way I'm doing that with the possibility of Ace on the table. Yeah, I'm just going to power up 3, because again, having... no, I would hang on to that. Okay, alright. So we're getting aces. Possibly I'm trying to imply that I have Checkmate Buster. And so I want to make him attack. He does have 2 aces. Usually that means he is going to attempt to throw, because I'm terrified to push any buttons. Yeah, no blocking. I'm definitely either playing a 5 or a 6 attack or throwing here. I don't want to give him any health. I can afford to tank some damage. Yeah, that's not even that bad. If he had like hit me with 5-6 into AA, that would have been troublesome. But again, I have the Jokers for that. So he just ends up dealing 10 damage. I don't mind too much. The king probably attempting to find a hedge against Checkmate Buster or Ace-Ace. So considering whether I want to play the ace, I will choose to. I think he's probably more afraid of Checkmate Buster than Ace-Ace. And again, even if this doesn't work, yeah, fine, 20 damage. Perfectly fine. He might be breathing a sigh of relief, given that he is probably expecting Checkmate Buster come out. Or he's fearing getting hit by Checkmate Buster way more than he is worried about getting hit with Ace-Ace. So he's at 12 health. We have the king, so king is kind of the face-up play. We can also do Jack 5-6 to play around him playing around king. So it turns out king was the right answer there, but again, Jack is the safer, more conservative play because I've got Jokers, so this is not going to hurt. And there's really no reason for me not to put a card face down. There's no reason for me to let him get back in the game if he wants to and decides to play into this fully. Yeah, so that would have been, a fair amount of damage, and instead nothing happens and we draw our second ace, so that we have Ace-Ace on deck again. We have 2 5s, so we can block our way to lethal with Pile Bunker. Now we play the king, probably get lit up by a 5. I don't know how this ended up. It's been a really, really long time. But we have both sides of the mix-up. Queen, again, is a quite good card if we expect him to be playing anti-king technology, but luckily he does not, and we close it out with quite good life lead there. So game 1 to me. Counterpick will come. Yeah, we get the pack. Pack celebration. Yeah, we see the monster before us. Okay, so Rook VBB, and we start with kind of a crap hand. So... Yeah, so I really had very little option to play there. I could have blocked and gone to range, or I could have played the 4 attack, and if he had played a 6, I would have come out looking fairly smart. We do at least pick up an ace for free, that's nice. But if we play it now, we're just going to immediately get put back to range, so it's time to block. And him playing the normal there is a really, really good sign for us. We're going to block basically continuously until we feel like not blocking anymore. Because him playing the 6 there means that he doesn't have queen and he doesn't have king, which are the things that really blow up blocks. The one with damage and the other one by actually removing cards from our hand. Taking 2 chip to build up a hand and find some more options and get more things we can power up for ace-ace. Perfectly fine for me. Absolutely perfectly fine. And so we're sitting on a 12-card hand. We're going to power up those 4s, get the 3rd ace that we need. So this is actually an amazing opening for us. He's in a position where he can't throw us at all until he draws that king. So just keep sitting back. Keep building up hand, keep drawing options, and then we're going to be monsters when we get out of range. Yeah, we don't need normal throws where we're going. I break up the 7s just so I don't have to discard yet. I probably should have just discarded like a 6, because Jack 7-8 is quite good damage. So the mix-up here is he going to dodge my attempt to get out? Or is he going to keep spamming attacks at me in the hopes that I do something other than ace-ace? So I figure he's going to attack some more and instead get dodged. So he's going to hit me with Jack. It's fine. 8 damage and knockdown. We've been at range for like 4 or 5 turns, and I've only taken 20 damage. We still got the life lead. This is perfectly fine. Again, the option is still block because he's going to dodge or block, or try to get up and get dodged again. Take another 8 damage. Still absolutely fine. We have all the options we could possibly want, except for kings. So we're going to dodge some more. Okay, he does end up attacking, so now the frustration is setting in. Taking damage where we don't absolutely have to. Yeah, throw away the 2. No reason to hang on to that. Yeah, 6 as well. Draw another 6. Yeah, ace-ace. Okay, so we get out. We have tons of options. He has not drawn too much of his deck as well, which is nice. We do have to be wary about getting blown up by ace-ace, basically. Okay, overdrive. So the mix-up here is dodge into king, which he doesn't have, or raw king, which he doesn't have, or robo headbutt into absurd damage, which he might have, but far more likely is actually Jack, and I'm actually not thinking about that at all, which is kind of silly. If I was going to play an attack there, I definitely should have played ace-ace. What I was hedging against was... Oh yeah, this is me slowly realizing that Jack wins because of overdrive. I thought I got my full combo. I thought it was like a rock armor thing, where I deal all my damage and then he gets to deal some damage. So So we learned something new about BBB. I've actually never been hit with the Jack combo before, so learning experience. Yeah, so if I wanted to trade there, throwing ace-ace into that would have been perfectly fine. The thing was, I wanted to hang on to ace-ace. I'm actually not sure why. I think it's just wrong for me not to play ace-ace there. Especially given the fact that he doesn't have queen and he doesn't have king, so I should really only be thinking of normal. And again, he hits me with the same thing again. He's going to cash out for good damage, and now he's got the life lead. Those last two combos were actually quite good. 21 damage is nothing to sneeze at. Especially when you're training it for 4, and you have ace-ace as a late game. So he's got 6 cards in hand, but we've got to find our way through a lot of hit points here. I hope we don't get... Yeah, so block is the nightmare scenario. Yeah, gotta give him the props. Gotta give him the props. He's playing it right. Far more likely that I have attacks that I feel comfortable playing compared to throws. Really, the king throw is the only safe one. And get poked out and put right back to range. And this is really, really ugly. After an amazing start, like that first range was absolutely incredible for me. And I've really squandered it by playing silly into some pretty face-up jacks. Like, dodge into normal is absolutely nothing in that scenario, so even getting put to range isn't all that much trouble because he just doesn't have anything. So we go for immediate Joker. I can't afford to take any damage here. I should think about what that tells him about my hand, which is that I probably don't have any 5s. So I should be keeping that in mind. We'll see if it matters at all. See if it influences his play, because we are out of range now. He's going to get double ace. So the play here is a normal attack to put me back to range, or double ace, or potentially throw. He could king throw here to get my face up 5 block. No, chooses to dodge instead. Yeah, I think he has played something like 3 of his 8 dodges. Yeah, okay, good. So we get some payoff. We get the 2 aces out of his hand. Deal him 21. We're not quite out yet. Or he's not quite out yet. He hasn't put us down. We have 20 of that 50 damage. We just have to find our way to the rest of it. I know he has a king throw, but block isn't all that safe anyway. If a normal attack gets through, I'm in some real trouble, and that is probably lethal. Didn't draw a single joker in all that time. Oh no, sorry, drew a single joker, but had to play it. And he knocks me down, so I'm not at range. It's kind of an odd choice, to be honest. And he's not overdriving, so he doesn't have anything to deal with fast attacks. I should not play that queen. I should play ace-ace, just in case he's playing a jack here. Okay, yeah, single ace. So again, AA would have kept me in the game. Could have powered up. No, I couldn't have powered up for anything. So I would have had to have hoped to draw something. I mean, I had 2 kings, but at 5 health... yeah, 5 health, it's not the worst thing you can draw. I could have survived at least 1 combat because 2 3s and 4s. There's no 5s, no 5 attacks in BBB's deck. So I should have played that last turn differently. I could have made that closer than it was. Okay, so Onimaru. Switch to Onimaru. So the idea behind this matchup is basically Onimaru only really loses to dodges. So BBB has 8 of those, and he does okay damage off of dodges sometimes. He can dodge into 21 with his ace-ace, or more if he has 4 aces, but it's generally less efficient. He can dodge into queen for 15, which is okay. but generally he just doesn't have enough of them to get around a really brutal guard crush slash final authority mix-up in the late game. And even in the early game, he may not want to get involved in that. It's kind of tricky for him anyway, right? The more dodges you spend earlier, the sooner you don't have dodges that you need. I should throw the king in there. Yeah, king is. I mean, the dream is to have attached ace, single ace, and then hit him with king for something like 50. Yeah, kings for 35 and 15 from single attached ace. But realistically, that's really never going to happen. So don't play for it. Just get rid of the kings when you can. So he plays the normal attack after overdrive, which is pretty slick. Kudos to him. Yeah. I was playing the 7th row because dodge is so difficult for Onimaru to deal with. So 7th row hedges against both dodge into king and just raw king. And instead he gets to go to range for free. So at range, blocks and dodges actually become incredibly good for BBB, because Onimaru is the king of reversals, with final authority, queens, any face card with final authority backing, 5 attacks to get around normal attacks. Like, he just has a ton of different options. We're going to block even here and take 15 for our trouble. I thought the dodge was pretty face up and got hit with the raw queen. Oh, that's another great move in this scenario is single ace, because it is at 1.0 speed. The only thing it really loses to are dodges, blocks, and normal attacks. But even normal attacks it ties with. So you spend a single card, you get out, it's fine. As I'm realizing, I'm really kind of playing that wrong. I should save single ace for neutral. Just play queens in the early game, because queens are they don't need to be final authority to beat what BBB is going to be playing. And hitting an ace to get out of range is not as good as hitting an ace in neutral, where it will attach, it prevents a range setting normal or raw king. Basically beats a ton of moves, basically every move that BBB is going to play at neutral except for AA. I think I played a high normal here, which is kind of silly. Yeah, I should be dodging into this, making it a little bit more difficult. Given how reticent I was to play a reversal at neutral, or at range, I was pretty clearly signaling the fact that I didn't really have options to be able to play them willy-nilly. So what I should have done is just dodged into 10, gotten 20 free damage. So we're going to try to joker our way out. That fails spectacularly, but it's a risk I had to take. My other option was to final authority a jack or play a 5 and hope not to get queened, which is not great. And this doesn't look like an excellent situation, like a very good situation, and it's not a great situation. But I am still at 35. Again, if I had played, I mean, there I would have had to play the jack and final authority it, so I'm okay with getting out there. But again, if I had an attached ace here, that's 15, so he would be at 45 health. And where there's only a 10 damage differential rather than the 25 that currently exists. We're going to try to dodge our way out of here. So we get around our hobo headbutt. Probably going to end up playing an 8 here. Yeah, saving the 10s. And I'm going to keep as many final authorities as I possibly can. So we've evened it up a little. The only issue here is I'm rapidly running low on cards. So yeah, 5 is a good option, I feel like. Far better in neutral than it is at range. Unfortunately, he dodges to get past it. Getting a sense that I am not willing to spend more dodges and not willing to block. And instead dodges into 15 for good damage here. Haven't really hit enough normals and blocked enough attacks to be able to build up much of a hand. Tricky situation. I've got to either dodge to get out or jack. At 20 health, I really can't afford to block because it loses so badly to queen and king. Okay, so we get around... Oh, yeah, that's right. We're not at... I don't know why I thought that set range. I just assume queen sets range always. I go low hand here, just because I need to find 2 more damage after this jack. If I can find another jack, I need to find 2 more to be able to make something of this. Yeah, so my option is DP or throw his obvious dodge or block. I think like blocking for him is very good, but he disagrees. Yeah, okay. So to say, I don't know if it's better to get rid of... It's probably honestly better to get rid of the other 9. Like, play the 9 of diamonds as the final authority, and then discard the 9 of spades, and then have the 8 in hand. But either way, this is kind of an ugly situation. Normal attack is very good here, so I'm just probably going to play the king. Loses to 2. And unfortunately, it does lose to 2. But if he had played it would have beaten everything except a 2 or a 3. And I had nothing else, right? Blocking there would have put me in a pretty ugly situation as well. And this way, unfortunately, this is pretty much GG. There's very few things that I can draw here. Yeah, and king is not the one. King is not the thing that's going to get me out of here. I should probably just play king, in case he plays king, and I stay alive. Yeah. No, that's silly. Okay. Ends up working out. Normal attack is actually really good. So I do have the king, so I can play the king at range to defeat a normal and put him on his back. Dodge is very... I mean, if he draws a dodge, he just play it. Yeah, and he does. Yeah, and that is GG. Not going to bother face downing. That is an unwinnable situation. There's no universe he doesn't play into that, because it still doesn't give me... I mean, I should have tried it, never give up, never surrender and all that, but I don't... Kirandio's not the kind of player that's going to make a mistake like that, in my opinion. So, he goes up 1 game in the advantaged matchup. He played that very nicely. This 3 is really silly. I can get punished for it very badly. I was hoping that he would go for a poke, since I was blocking last time. I'm going to follow it up with this 10, and this is a mistake. I think he anticipates it, yeah, and pokes it out with a 6. So if I had just dodged, or if I had played even a 4, or my own 6, would have been perfectly fine. Yeah. Gets the good damage, puts me in a range. I'm going to probably end up blocking with the 6. Or dodge, yeah. Block or dodge. Probably get thrown, yeah. Always king as BBB if you have it. And if you don't have it, then play something else. Dodge is also very good. But yeah, typically though, the reason that first turn king is so strong when you go to range is your opponent's not going to be sure that you have it. Yeah, your opponent's not going to be sure that you have it, so they might try to wait you out, try to find a cheeky block. Try to block out your BBB dodge, which is perfectly safe and all that sort of stuff. So now we have no reversals, but we're out of range. Okay, immediate overdrive. I know he has a king. So I can throw him with the 8. Onimaru has 0.2 speed throws because his throws are so bad otherwise. They are very, very good counter throws. Last time he just hit me with the... He hit me twice with jacks as rook. And he hit me with the normal poke last time. So I think he's probably going to go back to playing kind of typical. So I think I attempt the 8 throw here. I should probably 8 throw or dodge. If I'm really, really worried about going to range, and I'm fairly worried about going to range, I should 8 poke or dodge. Because dodge, ties against dodge, so that's fine. I've still got the 5 attack, which on non-overdrive turns is perfectly fine. I have the 8 attack if I think he's going to start blocking, and I've got the ace. If I can get that attached, it'll be doing really nicely. And hey, there we go. Okay, so we've got a lot of damage stored up. So we can hang that Sword of Damocles over his head, at least for a little while. Yeah, so 8 attack is to punish the obvious block, because I've now got the threat of my face cards being so good. Or I can dodge into jack or king. I don't really have... Nice. Catch a king with a raw attack. So king was looking for the very, very safe dodge there. Managed to find some damage. Get a king out of his hand. Draw another final authority, which is great. We might be able to 5 attack here. 5 is a very safe button to play. Kirandio is on match point here, so I do need to win 2 matches in a row. Okay, get normal throne. Really not that big a deal, I think. Yeah, his throws don't knock down, which is great. The only real risk with not jokering the normal throw is getting thrown into ace or thrown into queen ++ is actually really good damage. So general's armor here, we're going to find 10 damage. I don't think, yeah. I don't believe in really following up general's armor all that often, unless it puts somebody at a really significant life total. In this case, it would have put him at 46, which is still 5 combats versus 5 combats at 51. Right? Always count Onimaru as in multiples of 20 multiples of 20 essentially. Okay, so he does set long range there. He did get the dodge off. I neglected to be smart, or force him to come to me rather. So I've got to be careful about just reversaling up. And he throws me again, which is very ballsy. 15 damage is still 15 damage, and Clockwork Soldiers does work through range. So the 10 attack is actually kind of nice here, if he does go for a block, but he doesn't, which I did not anticipate. I thought, surely I have not played any reversals at this point. It kind of makes sense that I would have one and play it. But, nope, plays around that. Now is when I probably should just normal block. Because block from him, or dodge from him, is very, very strong here. He's thrown twice in a row. It's the typical kind of, play an option twice, then do the opposite. Yeah. So it gets around this. I will Joker here. I should Joker here. No? Okay. Alright, 8 damage is not as bad. I'm conserving the Joker essentially for when I get back to neutral. Okay, so that works. We get out, we take 6. but we do get out of neutral and we keep 2 face cards. Haven't really drawn anything else though, which is unfortunate. Kind of an awkward situation. Yeah, immediate overdrive. We can throw to try to deal damage, or play a more conservative dodge. Yeah, this is going to hurt. So I've got a joker here. Because lethal is very much on the table. Now we're in a situation where dodge into robo headbutt is lethal. Any throw is lethal. There's just a lot of lethal going around. And he has not played, I believe, a single joker. I looked away from the screen for a second, but I don't believe he's played a single joker yet. So dodge is actually really, really strong here, yeah. And that is very likely to be it. We're going to bluff. Should probably bluff with the king, to be honest. But yeah, that's it. Kirandio putting me down to 4th place, and I will have to play in play-in matches. Luckily, just in 4th place, so I will have to play and win 1 play-in match, and then I will go on to the playoffs. And we will see what that play-in match is and who that opponent is next time. So thank you, and see you later.